Okay, y'all. Video before last, I did this acrylic skin pour. I learned a lot, like a lot. And now I'm ready to put it on here. But first, I'm going to do a glitter base layer. This orchid is beautiful. It's just enough blue to purple shift that I think it's really going to be great with this. I didn't want to do black glitter background, or base layer, I mean, just because I really wanted to really highlight the purple and the blue on there. And I love that pink, but really this is where majority of our focus will be. So I'm going to epoxy method a base layer of glitter on here. And then we will do the acrylic pour after I have that glittered, sealed, epoxied, and nice and smooth, because I don't want any lumps showing through on here. I did go ahead and move this onto wax paper. One of the things I learned was this is not really a great option. I should have done either wax paper or parchment paper. And a couple of you guys actually gave me some pointers, and I will definitely take all of those into consideration for the next skin pour, which there will be more because these are beautiful. I love it. I'm so excited. I'm trying to figure out exactly how I want to go with this. I mean, I could really put a lot on there, but what I think I'm going to do is just focus mostly on like this area right here. And let's see. I thought about doing like a gypsy leopard type vibe, but not this time. So let's get that glittered. Okay, nice and thin, like super thin. You could probably see how much I was really rubbing it down. I had mixed up 10 milliliters just because that's kind of always my minimum. And there's 7.5 left, but there's still some dripping down the side from me literally scraping it and wiping it back on there. So now we glitter. If you've never done epoxy method glitter before, number one, it's great. It's so much easier than Mod Podge, but it's not for everyone. But for two, that's on there so thin, you don't need to spin your cup for hours at a time. Just like when you do Mod Podge, it just kind of does its thing. I've actually never seen this color on a black base, and holy smokes, it is beautiful. I'm so excited. So just whatever color you're going to do, just go to town. I made sure that I didn't have any bare spots because I hate bare spots. They're kind of a pain in the tuchus to fix. Holy smokes, that is so pretty. It's a little less purple on this black base, but look how great. Oh, camera's not even doing it justice. It never does. It never does glitter justice or anything else, so I'm not surprised. So I'm just going to continue doing this, let it cure overnight. Probably run out here and clear coat it with spray paint before I go to work. That way I can get out here and put epoxy on it as soon as I get home. Before doing anything else, I just had to give y'all a sneak peek. Holy smokes, this color is beautiful. I'm so in love. Okay, that's it. I'm gonna let this cure. I went ahead and cut around the skin. I tried to keep as much of the shape as possible, but there were some parts that I needed to cut off. It was too big. And this is where I accidentally let it, oh my gosh, my timer scared the crap out of me. So my timer just went off, or came on, I guess. Oh, I had a heart attack. Okay, so anyways, this is the part where I accidentally let it fold under, and I just can't get it back flat again. So I'm going to let that actually kind of drape over the top there. No big deal. So I also have glitter all over it. I'm kind of irritated with myself for that. So I kind of figured out how I wanted to go on here. And I'm just going to let it kind of take over the world here. I'll end up trimming that. But that's the gist of it right there. And then I'll cut that off. You can see right here it's a little dull. I went ahead and hit it with the sandpaper block. So what I'm going to do real quick, since I know what I need here, overlap wise, I'm so excited with how this is turning out. Very good. Okay. I'm going to do this kind of a little at a time. I'm really paranoid of this kind of folding over on itself again, because it's done it once. I'll do it again. So I'm going to lay it flat like that. And now I'll peel the back off little by little and lay it flat. Once I have this on here, I'm going to let it just sit because it's kind of late right now. Why are you not coming off? Good grief. I'm going to let it just lay here, kind of lay flat, and then I'm going to hit it with some clear Krylon. That way I don't have any issues with my epoxy. This has been one of those days where nothing went according to plan. So I'm really not surprised that this is giving me trouble. Not in the least. Why you do this? Okay. I'm not going to record me struggling with this the whole time. Stay tuned. You'll see it on there. I'll turn on the turner and let it kind of show all the way around. And make sure it's laying flat. So here's what it looks like. Got that lined up pretty good. I did have to stretch it because it just didn't go on the same way. There's a couple of spots, I don't know if you can see it in the video or not, like right here, it's really thick, and right here it's kind of lumpy. That's the paint. There's nothing I can do about that. I do have a layer of clear matte Rust-Oleum on there, just because I feel like I needed to really give myself an advantage, because I touched it a lot. Plus this has the... maybe I shouldn't touch that one. I just spray painted it. This has the silicone oil in there that we added to get a few cells, which clearly didn't work very well. But now I know I'll use more next time and not be afraid of it. I'm not super concerned with the few little flecks of glitter that I could not get them off. And I was worried about messing this up and making like indentions in there. I'm not worried about it. They're not that noticeable, and it just kind of catches the light just right every once in a while. You can't really see them when it's straight on. You got to catch the light just right. So I'm going to roll with it. I did go ahead and slice that. You'll see it when it comes around. In a way that I would have a little bit of my base showing through so that it would adhere really well and not accidentally end up having a broken seal right there. That's about all I can do on this tonight. So tomorrow when I get off work, I'll come and put the epoxy on there. I think it's going to be really, really great. I'm so excited. I think you can kind of see it right there. See that little ripple, kind of bulge looking thing right there? Not a wave in there, but the actual bulge. That's just where the paint is uber duper thick. And then right here, let's see if you can see it here. You can kind of see how thick that is compared to right here. It's super thin. No big deal. Might just take a little bit of extra epoxy to conceal that, kind of smooth it out. But overall, I'm pretty stoked about this. I love this base color. Once again, that is Orchid from Franz. I don't think I mentioned earlier that I did not put anything in between on this cup before putting this. That paint is actually adhering straight to it. This is what a little piece looks like on a keychain. So I decided to kind of combat some of these thicker spots, like right there. I've got that at that angle to kind of make it more obvious how thick that is. The spots that I zoomed in on just a minute ago. So I think this will help. I've got just a little bit of epoxy mixed up, but I'm going to go ahead and put it just right here in the negative space here. And then that'll help kind of build it up. And then on my next coat, I'm hoping that that'll help level it out. We'll see how that works. That's what it looks like so far. I think it's gonna work. I feel like that's gonna make some pretty smooth transition areas. And some of these flatter spots, I went ahead and rubbed like across into it. And then over here where that weird little blip was, I kind of filled the little valley part of it in. So I'm gonna let this turn for a couple hours. I'm not gonna put my heat lamp on it. I'm paranoid that the heat will make that acrylic skin soft and I don't want it to start peeling up. That seemed pretty successful. That right there is pretty smooth. This has a slight lump. After that first initial part of epoxy and this negative space was cured pretty good, I went ahead and did another all over. Not super thick, but not bone dry, kind of thin. And that actually seems to have helped a lot. I think it's gonna take probably 2 more. This is pretty decent, but right here, I think I'm gonna have a little bit of trouble. So I'll probably do 1 or 2 more decent layers and then sand it smooth right there. But I think overall that's gonna take care of that issue. This is completely smooth right here where it was thinner. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do there. And then I'll show you all the final results. This looks really good. I did a layer of regular KS resin last night. Not thick, just 10 milliliters probably. Just to kind of give me 1 more good layer to see if I needed to sand this, and I do. It's just a little ridge right there. But now I have enough epoxy on there that I can do a light sand to kind of smooth that out. And then everywhere else is really great. Like this is so minimal, I could probably just walk away and leave it be. But I've got to clean up the rim and everything anyways. So I'm done as far as I'm not done. I'm done as far as recording goes, because really doing a light sand, just going to use my sanding block here and light sand, clean the rim right here. Got some that kind of went over and above where it was supposed to go. And then we're done. 1 more layer of epoxy. It's all finished. But again, I'm not going to record that because it's really redundant, not helpful. Thanks for watching. If you like my content, please consider subscribing. And if you have any questions, put it in the comments. Thanks. Have a good one.